Welcome to Lafreniere Park. I'm Dominick Impastato, Councilman for District 4 in Jefferson Parish, which, for those of you who don't know, you're in District 4, okay? Welcome to our home. Welcome to the jewel of Jefferson Parish. We'll start, as we do everything in the parish, with the Pledge of Allegiance. We have our Director of Lafreniere Park, Trip Rabelais, who has helped lead us out of this park. If you could, Trip, lead us in the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, thank you all for being here. The first thing we do after the pledge is we typically announce the elected officials who are in attendance with us. That'd be me. So that part of the presentation is pretty short, okay? But I'll do it again. I'm Dominick Impastato. My pleasure to have all of you. I'll tell you, we do ribbon cuttings, groundbreakings, this sort of thing pretty regularly in the parish, and I got to tell you, it's typically filled with parish employees or elected officials, and to see almost every chair filled with members of our community is a testament to Mr. Amedee's work and, frankly, to the project that we're here about. When I was elected 5 years ago, my first mission was to bring the jewel of Jefferson Parish, this Lafreniere Park, to another level, and felt that the key to that was not for government to do everything here, but to find public-private partnerships that could enhance the amenities that we have here. And I believe in that in every aspect of parish government. I don't believe government solves quite as many problems as private industry is able to solve. So the more we can get private industry and private citizens involved in what's going on in government, I know we'll be better. On the edge, on the outside there, you'll see the first tournament quality artificial turf soccer complex in the greater New Orleans area. We did that with a combination of public and private funds, $1 million provided from private entity that we went and solicited to help us build that there. Well, now, today, we will, well, not unveil because it's unveiled, but dedicate today the artwork here that is again the result of a very successful public-private partnership, one of many that we've been able to do with the artwork and sculptures here in Lafreniere Park. Behind us, we have the Trojan horse. Behind that, we have our butterfly sculpture. We have a a veteran memorial sculpture back there as well that I really would encourage everyone to see, that was actually built, created, installed, and funds raised by an Eagle Scout. Brandon Bonvillian, that's in our sculpture garden in Lafreniere. Well, now what we have is the dedication of an art mall. Thanks to Mr. Amedee's donation, or if we'll call it a donation, but your donations to him to make this happen. What an incredible day this is, because one of the things that we've been able to do is, while oftentimes our neighbors on the other side of the parish line have maybe done some things and made some decisions that we might not agree with on this side of the parish line, in many ways we've benefited from that in so many ways. One of which is, by next year, just to my right, just to my right, next to these sculptures, we will have the first outdoor food pavilion in Jefferson Parish. We're building a Lafreniere Food Pavilion, an outdoor food court and entertainment venue just on that side of the water. To do what? To bring families into Jefferson Parish. How did that start? When City Park decided that Morning Call was no longer welcome in City Park. We reached out to Morning Call and said, can we make you a home in Jefferson Parish? That started this, and in a year you will see Morning Call and a number of other vendors there as well. It's kind of funny, we're here today under somewhat similar circumstances. So while this sculpture, the Grateful Labors, that was created as a dedication and commemoration to those that assisted in the Hurricane Katrina recovery, this was built and installed, as you know, in New Orleans City Park. Well, as they decided for whatever reason that it needed another home, I'm proud to say that we're able to make Jefferson Parish the home for that. And the site that we're on, there's a lot of different connections here that I think, for me, make it special, and I hope for Wayne and all of you it makes it special as well. The fact that this sculpture was created as a memorial to those who assisted in the Hurricane Katrina recovery. To now put this exactly where we are is quite fitting, because while Jefferson Parish was not as devastated as other areas in Katrina, just 2 years ago in Hurricane Ida, it was the opposite. And Jefferson Parish suffered very much the brunt of Hurricane Ida. Immediately to my right, just outside of this sculpture, what we did here in Lafreniere Park, I led the largest food and supply distribution in Jefferson Parish history in the aftermath of Hurricane Ida. So I find it awfully fitting that a memorial to hurricane devastation and recovery will basically be at the foot of what we did just 2 years ago to not only feed almost 200,000 families, which we did multiple times during that week, and got supplies, tarps, water, you name it, over the course of 3 weeks after Hurricane Ida, literally right here by this sculpture. So while it may not have been created related to Hurricane Ida, it has a special meaning for me and for the citizens of Jefferson Parish. So with that, no one would be better to discuss this relocation and what went into this than Mr. Amedee. So I'm going to turn it over to him in a second, but I want to make sure that I thank all of you for your contribution to make this happen. Jefferson Beautification to make it happen. Yes, the parish, we put up some funding to make sure that the foundation and whatnot is all done, and we will make sure that the maintenance is taken care of through parish funding. But rest assured, Mr. Amedee, his drive, solicitation to the philanthropists and to all of you and other donors who are contributing to Jefferson Parish, we cannot thank you enough. We appreciate everything you've done. Rest assured, we could always use more. So please keep that giving, keep that partnership with Jefferson Parish, and I can promise you, if I have anything to do with it, we will keep government out of the way, and we will make sure that you have whatever you need to keep making sure Jefferson Parish and the greater New Orleans is a better place. With that, I'd like to turn it over to our artist, to our friend in Jefferson Parish, Mr. Wayne Amedee.
Thank you, Councilman Impastato, for that great introduction. I really appreciate your remarks. Lafreniere Park is a beautiful setting for grateful laborers, and I want to thank the park staff, especially Trip Rabelais, and of course Councilman Impastato, for bringing grateful laborers to his beautiful new home right here at the entrance to the Parks Sculpture Mall. I appreciate the time they took to learn about the sculpture and to work with me on the minute details that go into moving a piece of sculpture weighing about almost 2 tons from the Irish Channel to its location here. Grateful Laborers is just that, an expression of gratitude for those who selflessly devote their time, their work, and their labor for the betterment of others. When I first made the piece, I was inspired by the thousands of Katrina volunteers, because where would we be without them? As we dedicate Grateful Labor today, I ask that question again. Where would we be without our first responders, our healthcare workers, those who got us through the pandemic, other hurricanes, and are still there when we need them, day in and day out? It is my hope that Grateful Laborers will instill in everyone a sense of appreciation for all those who give of themselves to help others, as well as for them to emulate those positive actions. This is the second iteration of Grateful Laborers. Some of you may recall that Grateful Laborers was in City Park near the New Orleans Museum of Art. The piece suffered damage, and so it had to be repaired and rejuvenated. I worked with some incredible fabricators, and they have joined me on many projects over the years. They fully repaired the sculpture, prepared it for its long-term installation, and I painted the piece with new colors and textures to symbolize its new life here in Lafreniere Park. The park did a wonderful job of setting it in a concrete base and surrounding it with a pedestrian-friendly ramp to Mall Island. Thank you once again to Lafreniere Park, Jefferson Parish, and the donors and supporters who funded the project, including the Robert S. Bowe Fund of the Greater New Orleans Foundation, Catherine Burns Tremaine, the Clayton Royer Family Fund of the Baton Rouge Area Foundation, Walden and Sidney Bestoff, Lynn Emery, and Ed Barton and Polly Renwick. And again, thanks to all of you for braving the heat and for helping to celebrate the dedication in this beautiful park of grateful laborers. Thank you.